I went to Catholic schools growing up. You would think that I would have learnt about Jesus in that time, but I actually didn't know him at all. Well, I was actually working with an optometrist here in town. He used to come in and talk about youth because he was running the youth group, and I actually used to make fun of him. And I went away to a conference, and there was a lady that was talking on stage, and I was heavily pregnant with Harmony, and she just looked straight at me and she said, "Your baby needs to know who Jesus is." And I thought, okay. And then I went, but I don't know who Jesus is. So I went back to work. "Steve, you've been talking about youth and Jesus, and can you teach me?" And he and his wife then invited me into their home. It just straight away started, like, the world started making sense. It wasn't a light bulb moment. Yeah. There's been in and out. I've gotten to points where it made sense, but I felt like I was on the outside looking in. Then there'd be times where I went through struggles and I'd get through it with my faith and I'd think, okay, I'm okay on my own now, I don't need this. And then of course everything would fall apart. So it's definitely been a really long process for me, and there's been a lot of people that have been very patient with me. Well, look, it's been everything to us. I had made a commitment to say I'm going to be in the room at church every week, like no matter what. Coming into this season, like you said, it was going to be hard on everybody, but I knew that I still had to do that because I didn't want to go back to the old way. And so I was so appreciative that we had that online format to still plug into, to keep us those messages of hope, knowing that there was people that we could still reach out to. I've always been that person that could do it on my own, and I'm obviously learning I can't. I made that first commitment to be in the room at church, but from that you learn all the other things that become important in taking those Christian steps, those things like praying. So obviously in isolation there was time to pray, there was time to read the Bible, so probably things like that I'd always been too busy to do. That's added that extra element for me. In that time my kids really enjoyed that time. They'd say, "Mum, when are we doing our Bible reading?" Or, "Who are we praying for tonight, Mum?" So hopefully they're going to keep me on track, but I think it's to say it's not just enough to be at church, we need to be doing these other things as well. So it'll be really important for me as we go back into that busyness of life to say that I need to bring these further habits in, to keep growing on that Christian journey.